Now, driverless cars and drones are already giving us a taste of what the future will look like. And to complete the series of unmanned craft, the Portsmouth branch of defence firm BAE Systems is now developing high-tech boats which don't need a captain and could one day support the Royal Navy. Our reporter Nicole Riz has more.
It sounds a bit like a gadget from a James Bond film, but high-tech driverless boats could soon be part of the Royal Navy's future. Together with Ferrum-based ASV, BAE Systems are currently working on integrating the new unmanned vessel into the naval fleet.
BAE Systems signed a contract with the Ministry of Defence for the production of 60 Pacific 24 rigid inflatable boats, one of which you can see behind me. And we're surrounded by the emerging markets of driverless cars and unmanned air vehicles. BAE Systems Maritime Services are now seeking to develop maritime autonomous systems to support the UK Royal Navy. The unique concept that we've developed is, rather than a dedicated unmanned vessel, is to modify the existing craft that the Navy own to provide a dual capability of manned and unmanned. So in practice, what that involves is add-on equipment which adds to that fixes to the mast of the vessel and allows the operator to switch on the fly between these two modes. You might ask, why do we want to do this? And I think there are three compelling reasons. The first is undoubtedly safety. The sea can be a dangerous place, and particularly in times of conflict, it's particularly true. So if there's no man on board, then there can be no risk of danger to personnel. The second reason is about persistence. In harsh weather, the time that people can spend on a rib is limited typically to 6 hours. That's because these craft travel very fast. They're subjected to high levels of what's called whole body vibration, and it's very physically demanding. Whereas an unmanned system really is limited only by the fuel that it can carry. And the third reason is that there are some applications which really are only possible with an unmanned system. The most obvious is that if you take the people and the seats off a boat, then you can put an awful lot more payload onto it. And we tout the phrase maritime mule, where you have manned and unmanned craft working in collaboration together, even in as simple as what we call a follow me mode, where a series of unmanned craft follow a manned vessel at a discrete distance, carrying supplies, munitions, and potentially carrying out other more advanced applications such as people evacuation, casualty evacuation from hostile areas.
For the Royal Navy, the unmanned technology could have several advantages.
The Navy have highlighted a handful of really pertinent scenarios that they see as the first stages to adopt, and these are anti-submarine warfare, where you're looking for submarines, and the significance of that for unmanned systems is that you're out at sea for long periods of time because you've no idea when that submarine might cross a particular threshold. The second is force protection. And you think of that in terms of maybe convoy protection through a choke point, through the Straits of Gibraltar or the Straits of Hormuz, where high-value assets with people on board might be under threat from anything from a floating IED to a fast attack craft. And these could act as a vanguard. You send them maybe 5 or 10 miles ahead to scout out for any danger that could be then intercepted by any means. And the third obvious category is zone or harbour protection, where you leave one of these to patrol an area, preventing other ships from crossing a virtual tripwire.
The innovative vessels have been tried out on the Solent, but soon seamen will take them for a test run in simulation exercises.
Every year, the Navy go and do training exercises and war games at sea in represented environments, and we have 2 weeks dedicated in October to demonstrate these specific vessels. We're taking 2 vessels, a Pacific 24 and its larger brother, the 9.5 metre 950, to do a side-by-side comparison between current naval operations and what you could do in the future with unmanned systems, to identify strengths and weaknesses. Both of these are development demonstrator vessels. We anticipate a degree of further development after that, feedback and engagement with the customer. My personal view is within 5 years we will start to see these in service in a limited capacity.
Nicole Ries for That's Solent.